All right, Bo, we're switching gears here. A column in The Athletic written by friend of the show, David Aldridge. Can Adam Silver find his resolve with Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers? NBA season's about a month away. Obviously, there have been a lot of rumblings and reportings about Kawhi and Steve Ballmer trying to potentially skirt the rules of the cap. Adam Silver has had limited public comments on this. Said about a week ago, I frankly never heard of the company Aspiration before. And I never heard a whiff of anything around an endorsement deal with Kawhi or anything around engagement with the Los Angeles Clippers. So it was all new to me. Bomani, how do you think the situation resolves itself?
I don't know. And so my old co-host Pablo Torre on his podcast came across a trove of documents from this company called Aspiration that turned out to be a scam. It looks like the guy that was running the place is going to wind up doing a lot of time. Steve Ballmer invested a lot of money into the company. Kawhi Leonard signed an endorsement deal with the company for a lot of money, like I want to say $28 million. But the thing was, there were provisions in the deal, a deal that they didn't really tell anybody about. And there were provisions in the deal that said that Kawhi didn't actually have to do any work in order to get the money. Okay. So you have Ballmer putting money into a company that ultimately gives money to Kawhi Leonard where he doesn't necessarily have to work. Okay. Here's the thing for me, right? There is something fishy going on, I think is a fair point to make. Now, Pablo has said that there is not room to question his team's reporting on the matter, right? I think the exact words he used is that if you question the reporting, you're kind of showing your ass. Okay. I do not, or at the very least, as of now, I'm not inclined to question the reporting. Like, I don't believe that the documents and things that they produced are false. I think that those things are true. The question is the fishy smell coming from, like, what kind of fish are we talking about here? You understand what I mean? I am not sure as of now that whatever was going on was for the purpose of circumventing the salary cap. I think that it is possible, but I don't think that has not been shown to me definitively. I would never dare come out here and say, oh no, they definitely weren't skirting the cap. Maybe they were, but that's not the conclusion that I have drawn from the information that has been presented as of now. I'm not quite there yet, right? Here's the problem for Adam Silver. I'll tell you who is there. People who cover the NBA. Right? Like, to me, this is a very internet story as it stands right now. I don't have a great handle on how much the average NBA fan cares about this. Like, this feels more like an old NCAA scandal than it does to a basketball scandal. If you were to ask,
unfortunately, we can't do bowl bans and vacate former wins.
Right.
So,
right. But there are things you could do, like the Joe Smith salary cap scandal of 25 years ago. They took 5 first-round picks away from the Timberwolves, right? My question is, if you were to ask the average NBA fan on the street if they know about the Timberwolves and the Joe Smith cap circumvention, I don't think they know about it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't have a great handle on whether the median NBA fan cares that much about this story. But I know that the median NBA reporter absolutely does care about this story. And many of them believe that there were definitely cap shenanigans that went on here. So if Silver, who has now turned this over to the NBA, to a law firm to do an NBA investigation, right? If that investigation comes back and they don't believe that Ballmer attempted to circumvent the cap, are the writers who cover the NBA going to believe that? Or are they going to believe that the league is covering for this man? And that's in part just a reflection of the times, man. I've talked about this many times on this program. It's a very important thing, which is in our lives, the declining faith that we have in institutions. Steve Ballmer is a man worth $150 billion. He's the richest owner in sports in the world. Does the NBA want to make an enemy with one of the biggest value adds the league has ever had? That is the question that I think that people are going to ask themselves if that investigation comes back and says that the Clippers were not circumventing the cap. What happens if that's the case? Now, look, I will tell you this. If the investigation comes back and they do think the Clippers circumvented the cap, there's going to be some consequences and repercussions. Please believe that. That's going to happen. But I don't think there's really that much for us to talk about right now. Like, if you want to talk about it right now, it's just whether or not, as of this moment, whether you do or do not believe that the Clippers circumvented the cap based on the information that Pablo has produced. I believe the line that people say, though, about journalism is that it's like the first draft of history or something like that. That is the catalyzing agent. That reporting is going to prove to be the catalyzing agent that gets to the part that actually will matter in application, which is the investigation that the NBA and this law firm ultimately do, right? And so if you're Silver, there's really not much more you can do but wait on that investigation, however long it happens to take. People talk about they need to take the All-Star game away from LA. What are you, high? All-Star game's in February. They ain't doing that. Not on an allegation, right? They don't have enough to do that. No. That part's not going to happen. But when the investigation is done, we're going to find out. And what I do think is that the league is going to have to make the findings public. That I 100% believe. No matter what happens, they can't get away with not showing people what they find.
Correct, because I think there is a important part to this groundswell around the support for the reporting, and that has a lot to do with a very popular anti-billionaire sentiment going on with our country. And it is very easy to make an enemy of Steve Ballmer unless you are Adam Silver.
Well, I think the other part of this sentiment is the way people feel generally about Kawhi Leonard and specifically about the idea of his mysterious Uncle Dennis. Right?
Which is talk about shady family members getting impermissible benefits. This is like a college football story. Yeah.
But this is my thing about Dennis, though. And I don't know Dennis. I don't never talk to him. I don't know how shady he is or is not, right? I do firmly believe that he operates on the premise that the worst thing that you can do is say no. So he asked for the world, right? Like, I have not heard of him doing anything underhanded. He's just trying to get every single dime that is possible. He has audacity. That is his game, is audacity. Because he's like, I mean, he's a serious person. I think that's the part that gets lost in this. And so there are two kinds of like these family members that you wind up in like the college sports situation. It's the kind that don't know nothing about the game, so they just come in bulling a china shop, asking for all the money. And it's the people who know everything about the game, and that's why they come in bulling the china shop, asking for all the money. And he appears to be the latter.
Yeah, and that has gone consistent with the time with the Raptors, asking for equity in the team, asking for...
Hold on. He asked for equity in the Maple Leafs. He was like, I know y'all can't give me, in this, that's fine, but what about the other one? How'd that sound?
Yeah, he knows the rules, and if they are broken, it is not his problem. Speaking of something you have lots of things to say about, Complex released their top 50 greatest rap songs about sex. Number 5, UGK, Take It Off. Number 4, Cardi B featuring Megan Thee Stallion, WAP. Number 3, Lil Wayne, Lollipop. Number 2, Ludacris, What's Your Fantasy? And number 1, Tupac, Temptations. Bo, I tried to sound like not the whitest person in the world when I was reading this list. Bo, your thoughts?
So this is what's interesting about the list is I immediately looked at who wrote it, and it's obviously people who are much younger than me. Though if you look at the songs that you rattled off there for the top 5, okay, Ryan, let me make sure I heard it straight. You got UGK's Take It Off, WAP. What was number 3?
Lollipop,
number 2.
What's Your Fantasy?
And then Temptations by Tupac was number 1.
Yeah.
So like 3 of those songs are 25 years old. One of them is damn near 20 years old, and the other one is like 5 years old. I don't agree with any of that, just to be clear. But it's hard for me to like, it's somewhat difficult to make the all you young people don't know anything argument, because damn, you apparently know a lot more than I thought you did if you pulled it. Now, I will give them this. Did you see what number 6 was?
I did not. I can pull that up right.
Yes, number 6, if I recall, should have been number 1 to me, and that was Digital Underground, Freaks of the Industry. Like, that was the one they had there. They had a couple that I was surprised. It was Freaks of the Industry was number 6. Yeah. Like, for example, I was surprised that Biggie One More Chance, the album version, was not there. I was really surprised that there was nothing for Big Pun, particularly I'm Not a Player, not the remix, the first one. Right.
I was surprised we got a single R. Kelly song because I figured
the Biggie joint.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah, I also don't like that song. Like, if you wanted to go with Biggie sex songs, you could have come up with better ones than that, right? And look, making these lists are hard. All of that, I understand it. But I will tell you this: as I was going through all those songs about sex, buddy, there's not a dollop of romance to be found anywhere. And the reason I'm disappointed that there is no romance on there is because it means that they missed another top 5 rap sex song, and rap sex songs are all about sex. But there was one that had some romance to it, and they didn't have it. And I actually think that it should have been number 2 on this list, and that is 8 Ball and MJG Space Age Pimpin'. I could not believe, and again, we're asking a lot of these people in doing the list, but at least that one got a little bit of romance and actual sexiness to it. Like, what's it? Ghostface, what's the ghost? Is it Wildflower? Where it's just like, yo, brother, chill out, man. This doesn't sound like it would be any fun for the young lady at all.
The interesting thing of making a list about songs about sex is everything is kind of about sex.
Correct.
Everything is they had to be songs that were all quite literal.
Yes, like Freaky Tales, for example, is on that list. They had a couple of NWA Eazy-E songs. It's like, this is actually making me a little guilty about some of the things that I've listened to at various points in my life. I was just like, I don't really know. And by the way, if we are just going to go with our favorite crass rap songs, whatever happened to When I Met You Last Night, Baby? Ain't No Fun is nowhere to be found? Hey, look, again, this is a very difficult job, but I feel like y'all missed some staples, right? While somehow missing staples while coming with some amazingly deep cuts. But Ain't No Fun if the homies can't have none. That one is, it's kind of hard not to put that one there.